If we're being honest, a lot of what we want for ourselves is on the other side of audacity. Me and one of my best friends just completed a YouTube challenge, which for us was essentially 16 shorts in 19 days because we joined the challenge 11 days late and the deadline was November 12th. For a lot of creators, that's cake. Some people are posting daily or even 2 to 3 times per day on a regular. And in most cases, those creators have either established or are in the navigational process of establishing systems for themselves and their content. But that's not what this conversation is about. We can get into that another time. This is about audacity. My friend Dre and I were vocal with our communities about the fact that we were attempting this challenge. Hack number 1, external accountability. And after a few days of being consistent, some of our community members got so excited that they joined along too. A few having never touched editing software, some having never posted shorts, and others just starting to find their rhythm in the content space. Every day, somebody was checking in via the Study Buddies channel in my Discord server. How are y'all feeling? How's it going? Does anybody need help with anything? Here's my status update. And it wasn't all sunshine and celebration. There were days when there would be paragraphs of self-doubt. And every time that would happen, there were 5 more paragraphs in response filled with encouragement and validation and reassurance. When Dre and I first hopped on the challenge, we were excited and nervous. She is a full-time life-saving doctor, and I'm a full-time business owner and freelance contractor. And neither of us have cracked the code on what a consistent content cycle schedule looks like for us. We have our live stream schedules, so our communities know when to expect us to go live, and we do our best to update them whenever the schedule needs to change. But in terms of non-live content, videos and posts, the cadence was as much of a mystery to them as it was to us. And I'm not saying it needs to be as clean as every day at 7:32 p.m., but it would be helpful to roughly have an idea of how many times per week, what platforms, maybe even what to expect if you have something particular going on that week. Doesn't have to be, but couldn't hurt. Prior to the Shorts Challenge, whether or not we made videos offline was determined by how we felt, whether or not we were inspired, if we felt like we had something valuable to say or share, whether or not we had a deliverable to meet. I'm really good at meeting my deliverables for other people, other clients, brands. And working in the production industry, it's easy to build this muscle for executing other people's creative visions. I come by it honestly. But if you're not careful, if you stop paying attention, you'll find yourself consistently giving all of your best creative energy to everyone but yourself. You worked so hard to bring X, Y, and Z to life for whomever, and you did it. It came out great, the client is happy, you're relieved, and the assignment is over. And because you haven't established systems or boundaries for yourself, now you're tired. You used all your creative juices, didn't save any for yourself, and now you're feeling uninspired, which leads to feeling unmotivated. And if you're anything like me, you think to yourself, well, there are some videos I want to film for myself, but they won't be their best because I'm tired, so I'll save those for when I have more energy. And now, weeks have passed. Where's that video? This challenge was eye-opening for me and Drea, and I'm glad that we joined late because it catapulted us into crunch time. Do or don't. Make something or make excuses. So we put our heads down and made a plan. Not a perfect plan, but a plan at least. A strategy for execution. We wrote down as many ideas for shorts that we could think of in a few minutes. We both stopped short of 16, and then we filled in those gaps by coming up with the remaining ideas for each other. We picked 1 or 2 ideas that stuck out for ourselves and 1 or 2 that stuck out for the other person. Those were the videos we planned to make first. At the beginning, we had some wiggle room. 3 days for falling off, rest, schedule changes, whatever would pop up that would throw us off course. Our plan was to save those 3 days for emergency use only. Let's even take it up a notch by scheduling ahead. If we can schedule 2 or 3 shorts out, we build even more wiggle room for ourselves by not having to film or edit every day. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we ate those 3 days up by the end of the first week, to the point where missing a day was no longer an option. We had to execute. Here's where things got significant. We completely disregarded perfection in pursuit of progress. Make something or make excuses. And no, we didn't feel like filming or editing every day. We didn't feel like we always had something profound to say. And some days we didn't even feel like we would complete the challenge on time. But none of that mattered. We had to do it tired and frustrated and anxious and uninspired. We had set a goal for ourselves, and one of the most crucial things we did was hold each other accountable. When one of us would say to the other that we didn't have time or energy to edit or film on a given day, the other person would immediately start rattling off solutions. Oh, your shift is in 3 hours and you don't have time to film? Bet, grab some B-roll that you already have and add some voiceover to it. You've been in meetings all day and you don't have time to edit? Cool, grab some clips from your last stream and make a funniest moments compilation. If we couldn't see the backup plan for ourselves, the other person could, so we kept it pushing. I went from it taking me 2 or 3 days to edit one short that I really cared about to being able to edit 3 or 4 shorts in a day that I really liked. They were funny or helpful or introspective, but they didn't all need to be gut-busting or mini masterclasses. And we know because we saw results. From October 25th to November 12th, which is when we hopped on the Shorts Challenge, my Kopakashi channel got 32.2 thousand impressions, 21.9 thousand views, 155.7 watch time hours, and 36 subscribers across 16 shorts, 2 multi-streams, and 1 Twitch VOD upload. Comparatively, in the 30-day period prior to the Shorts Challenge, my Kopakashi channel got 12.7 thousand impressions, 3,000 views, 14.1 watch time hours, and 4 subscribers across 4 shorts for brands that I partner with, 2 of which were collaboration posts. The point is, I saw results because I showed up for myself and didn't overthink it. We both did. So again, a lot of the opportunities that we want to seize for ourselves, in Drea and I's case, YouTube partner, are on the other side of audacity. You can't get good at something if you're not willing to be bad at it for long enough to get good at it. If you come across a creator's content and you think to yourself, that's cringe, or, ooh, I think I could do better, and you turn around and that creator has hundreds of thousands of subscribers, brand deals flying in left and right, and you still haven't posted that video. You still haven't hit go live. You still haven't signed up for that free editing class you keep talking about. The difference comes down to audacity. In my case, the audacity to get better as you go, to figure it out along the way. The audacity to not overcomplicate and overthink every little thing. So that's my challenge to all of us, myself included. Stop waiting for all of the puzzle pieces to fall perfectly into place. Let's up our audacity. Make something, not excuses. As always, transferring good energy, and until next time.